Now here's some fun, interesting things. Welcome to the greatest lesson of all time. Is it? Today I'm going to teach you some slang about meat. The first one you probably already know. It's all over, I guess, the internet. What's the internet? It's all over everywhere. I see it all the time. You know what? I have a confession. I had no idea what it meant until I researched this. I was like, why is everyone going along about a goat? And then I realized goat means greatest of all time. So, this is the greatest lesson of all time because I'm going to teach you some slang. Yeah! So, first one has to do with meat. Now, disclaimer. You guys might be thinking, Ronnie, can you really eat that? Pfft, who am I to judge? Eat whatever you want. First one, pork. In slang, to pork means to have sex. So you can say, oh, I porked this guy last night, or this guy porked me last night. Also, a pork sword is a penis. Next one. This is kind of old-fashioned. To horse around. So my grandmother would say, Ronnie, stop horsing around. Basically, it means playing when you're a child. So you're getting into mischief, you're not doing your homework, you're goofing off. So to horse around. Yes, I have eaten horse. It was raw. It was in Japan. And no, I don't remember what it tasted like. But it must have been good. Squirrel. Have you ever eaten squirrel? Do you know what a squirrel is? A lot of people that come to Canada are fascinated by these creatures. They're little guys. They run around, gather nuts, got a big bushy tail. By the way, side note, I've always wanted a tail, and my choice of tail would be a squirrel. Back to the lesson. So, to squirrel something away. Oh, I haven't even written a definition for you guys. Bad teacher. To squirrel something away is what the squirrels do with their nuts. Not those nuts, the nuts they collect from the trees. So what they do is they go and they collect the nuts and then they hide them. So to squirrel something away basically means to hide something and keep it safe. Squirrels squirrel away nuts. We would squirrel away, I don't know, maybe chocolates, money, anything that you hold precious to your being. This is funny too. Goose. Now you've noticed that all of these have a V that stands for verb. So these are all verbs. So to pork, to horse around, to squirrel something away, to goose someone. If you speak Japanese or if you've ever been to Japan, the Japanese word for this is kancho, where little kids, delightful little kids, like to stick their fingers in your butt. But with clothes on, of course, because that would be rude. But to goose someone is to poke or pinch a bum. Bum is your backside of your butt. So you goose someone. Now, people say the reason or the etymology behind this slang word is that geese, plural, or a goose, they're kind of nasty and they like to bite you. And of course, they bite you in your bum because that's goose level. The other theory is if someone actually gooses you, you kind of might like a goose. Which one do you like better? You can make your own up. So to goose someone, poke them in the bum, pokey. We're going on to a noun, a weasel. So a weasel is a small creature, and growing up we had cartoons of a weasel, and he had like big googly eyes and weird teeth, and he was small. But if someone is a weasel, they're untrustworthy. It means you cannot trust them. So you might tell them something confidentially, like a secret, and then they tell it. Or they might steal from you. Basically, they're just bad people. And then English just went, let's expand on this. To weasel out of something. It means to back out. Why am I backing up? of an agreement. So we've got some phrasal verbs here. So to back out of an agreement means to like stop the agreement illegally or without telling someone. So for example, he weaseled his way out of the contract. That means he broke the contract and it was illegal or not in good faith. Then we have the opposite if you weasel into something. This is also called party crashing, but it means to gain access through deception. So people can weasel their way back into a relationship, or they can weasel their way into an event or a party. That would be the party crashing horn. Have you ever done that? Have you ever crashed a party? This means you're not invited, but you show up and you go. Hey, if you're having a party, give me your address. I'll crash it. Yeah, but you'll invite me. So next we have some nouns. This is beef. Cow. Moo. Delicious. Do you like beef? And it's also a very popular, it's not a TV show anymore, is it? How old am I? I'm TV? It's a Netflix show, I think, and it's called Beef. It was actually really good. Beef is a problem. So the show centers around two people that get into a fight and they have a problem with each other. So people might say, "What's your beef, man?" Hamburger? I guess? Steak? They're not talking about the food. They're asking you what your problem is. A veal chop. Now, do you know what veal is? Veal is a baby cow. Oh, yeah, we eat those. They're good. So a veal chop is a sexy younger man. So you get, oh, look at that veal chop. Yum, yum. Dirty dog. These are all nouns. He's a dirty dog. It means he's a pervert. Pervert means sexual deviant. Someone who kind of does things that are not really within society's boundaries. Or they're just checking you out, a little bit dodgy. Pervert. Oh, he's a dirty dog. Ruff. Pussy. Do you know that word? Yeah, you do. I know you do. But did you know it meant coward as well? You probably already know it means vagina, but you can say, don't be a pussy. He's a pussy. And it's usually always men that are pussies because women have pussies and men are them. Does that make sense? So you're like, oh, you're a coward. We don't say that. He's like, he's a pussy. Cow. This is where beef and veal come from. And it's important to learn that, and weird in English, a cow is the animal and the beef and the veal are what we call the food of it. Chicken is chicken. Isn't that weird? But veal and beef are cow, and then pork is from a pig. So be careful of that. This is very British, and it's basically an insult to women. So people say, oh, what a fat cow, or an old cow, or a chatty cow, or some kind of adjective cow. They don't really say beautiful cow. What a beautiful cow. It's like, really doesn't work. So it's a negative thing if somebody calls you a cow. Punch him. Punch him in the cock. Chicken, like I said, chicken is a coward. So if you're going to use either pussy or chicken, chicken is more socially acceptable. Pussy's a little bit more slang. So choose your coward. Bear. This is cute. Aw. Bear is a hairy, usually large or big gay man. I'm going to be doing a lesson later about more into this. So stay tuned for that one. And then a cougar. Oh, Ronnie, don't do that. A cougar is an older lady who likes younger men. So you hear things like it's a cougar bar, she's a cougar. Yeah, that's basically how we use those. So we've got cougar, we've got bear, we've got chicken. Oh, I've never eaten cougar. I've eaten bear, I've eaten chicken, I've eaten cow, Never eaten that. I've never eaten dog. I've eaten veal chops. I've eaten beef. Pork, yes. Horse, yes. Squirrel, no. Goose, yes. Goose is actually really delicious. If you're German, Christmas dinner, it's the goose. I've never eaten weasel. I don't think it's really popular in Canada. It might be in the South in America. I'm not too sure. And there we go. And saving the best for last, as we always do, because it is the greatest lesson of all time for meat slang, is an aardvark. Now, an aardvark is an animal that it's kind of like an armadillo, if you know what those are. And it's got kind of a long snout, and it can kind of retract its snout and go into itself. So an aardvark is an uncut penis. Now you might ask, Ronnie, what is an uncut penis? Well, we have circumcised or uncircumcised. So what happens? This is really odd when you think about it. Little boys, when they're born or shortly after, after they're born, obviously, they cut the foreskin off of their penis. It can be for religious reasons. It can be for being clean, so you don't get dick cheese in there. But we call in slang an uncut penis, so a penis that's not cut or not circumcised, an aardvark, because he's like hiding in his hole. So, I hope you enjoyed your slang today, and I hope that when you're eating the various things, that you think about me. I'm Ronnie, and I'll see you later.